This is the Ruckus and the Menace.
Challenge accepted. No.
Oh no! We suck again!
I'm getting confused. What game are you calling?
I'm calling both games!
It is caught by Kelsey! Touchdown! Kansas City!
There you go.
There it is.
There's a winner.
Look at that.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you,
Episode number 165 of the Ruckus and the Menace podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is me trying not to break right now because if you watch the Thanksgiving game between the Chiefs and Cowboys, your boy had a brain aneurysm or two while watching, especially near the end. But this is Ruckus Always Causing a Ruckus, and this is episode number 165 of Ruckus and the Menace podcast. I'm Ruckus Always Causing a Ruckus.
And I am Spinnis the Menace, who is always ready to watch Ruckus spontaneously combust.
And that's episode number 165 as I have No, I'm just kidding. So, Spinnis,
Wow.
do you want... We're only a minute in. We're only a minute in.
Only a minute in, and I've already made the start morbid. That is not the way I wanted that to go. But, digression aside, we are getting straight into brass tacks in talking about the high heat. And the very first game we're talking about is the Cowboys and the Chiefs. And it is quite nice over here. Although the Cowboys won, it's kind of nice seeing Chiefs fans' world burn for a moment.
You know,
As
I don't have gunpowder on me, but if I did, I'd be rubbing it into a wound somewhere. Because, my God, how do you screw up that badly as an offense on the Chiefs in the second half? The first half was fairly good. I watched the first couple of drives. I was like, okay, yeah, the Chiefs got an interception, this and that. Like, good for them. Like, they were looking pretty good. And then the next offensive drive, we did fairly well. I was like, okay, we're doing all right. And then, I'll sum it up this way. This team seems like it's running on a lawnmower motor. You yank hard enough, and maybe you get a convincing win, or you fall flat on your ass and keep yanking the damn cord. Also, by the way, there was a press conference between Andy Reid and the news reporters, and he said something about tickling tonsils on every play or something like that. What do tonsils have to do with the NFL, Andy Reid? I know you're hungry for a damn cheeseburger, but come on, man. Just the way you said
that very well could have gone. That is just, I was not wanting to go there.
It's just so weird that you said that. Like, the most, unhinged shit he has said was probably when he said after Mahomes beat the Bills in overtime when Andy Reid was like, if you want to be grim, you got to be the Grim Reaper. That was some unhinged but cool shit that he said. But this, where it's like, tickle your tonsils, it's like, my guy, State Farm called. They want they want an ad read again, not just about those damn nuggies that you just did that creepy little crawl to. Like, come on, man. Anyways, Spinnis, take the rest of it away.
I mean, my team has already had its season kind of collapse, so it's kind of nice having that shoe be on the other foot. However,
gunpowder on the wound.
My take on this very same game of the Chiefs Cowboys is committing 10 penalties for 119 yards. Included in that are ones that killed offensive drives and also helped the opposing team get down the field. This does absolutely no favors for any team in a win with urgency situation to stay in the hunt for making the playoffs.
Also, how the hell do you find a way not to score? Like there were so many opportunities we had, and we just like fumbled the bag, and it pissed me off. I feel like
Your
our offense was
arrowheads were not in the stadium. Your arrowheads were not in the stadium. They were inside the Chiefs' feet. You,
uh,
you kept shooting yourself in the foot.
also, I feel like that our offense was worse than the halftime show that they played for that game, where they played like this random.
Wait, you weren't feeling the Post Malone
He was
halftime
barely
show?
in it, and then wait, I'm thinking of never mind. I'm thinking of the Lions Packers thing. Never mind, I digress.
Okay, the Jack White Eminem halftime show was pretty sick.
I think it was absolute
There were
ass.
Well, I'm saying once it was absolutely sick once Eminem finally came out.
That was the only good part of that. When they played Seven Nation Army, I cringed a little bit, and I was like, okay, that's some white people crap right there.
Yeah, but I mean, Post Malone. I mean, he has ties to the cow. I mean, he kind of has ties to the Cowboys for some.
I didn't
But
really
it's
listen
like
to that because
it's a
it was
weird.
talked over.
It is a weird selection. It was a very weird selection for that type of show. But I mean, he's kind of transitioned over to this
Who did
country
it better,
music
Dolly
type of.
Parton or Post Malone?
I mean, Post Malone did have some help.
With those friends? Blake Shelton? You know what really confused the shit out of me with Post Malone?
Did you completely not miss that I actually threw a title of a Post Malone song in that?
I did, but I think I screwed up by getting the wrong song because I think it was "Pour Me a Drink" by Blake Shelton. Maybe it was Morgan Wallen. Did I get that wrong again?
I had some help actually was featuring Morgan Wallen, but
That's
I
what I
don't
thought.
think that. Yeah, no, that was the right. No, you eventually got the right feature out of it.
You know what really confuses the shit out of me in his arc? Post Malone had like this whole thing of "I'm dark inside," like, and it was like something with I don't know if it was his alcoholism or just in general, like he just felt like he was alone or whatever. And then, like as soon as he got through that arc, it was like, "Oh, pour me a drink," and here's Blake Shelton. It's like, what the? That was a quick 180. Anyways,
And then I mean, still just Posty as a I mean, Posty as a person is probably
he's got so much
more.
fucking talent.
Yeah, he's so much of a talent. He's also very much like I'd say very much like a class act. More
Yeah,
oftentimes.
yeah, he doesn't like pull what rappers do in their videos. Like, yeah, he had someone drive a Bentley and donuts in the desert as like his first one with White Iverson, but come on,
Yeah,
the man's come up a
but I
long
was
way.
also but I was also saying like all the charitable acts. I think he gifted like a fan a guitar and basically told him the best way, like the only way that you're really gonna have to solidly keep this is to actually play it. Like give the kid had to give him a
He
heartfelt promise that he was gonna play it.
I remember back in the day in 2017 when he had his Beer Bong and Bentley's album, him and Jay's Two Cents, a YouTuber that I still watch this day. Shout out Jay's Two Cents. He's a custom PC builder, but he did like a few celebrity builds. I think it was Post Malone first that he did a celebrity build for, and it was an actual like guitar based on beer bongs and Bentleys, and then the liquid cooling fluid looked like Bud Light. And then he did a Terry Crews one as well, and that was Old Spice themed. But anyways, I
Yeah.
digress.
And then Post Malone with also being an avid Magic the Gathering fan
PC
and
gamer.
and his oh yeah. So Posty kind of has different areas that are
I
relatable to a
was
lot
so
of
freaking
people.
hyped back in the day when that happened too. When I saw the tweet of like Post Malone retweeting to Jay's Two Cents, I was like, "Let's go!"
Another and honestly, another NFL player that kind of has that relatability like a Post Malone is actually George Kittle.
I would
Complete
say
digression aside.
Kelsey and Terry Crews as well.
Oh, I was gonna. I mean, the reason why I said Kittle is
Because he's
Kittle in a
crazy.
different regard, and well, I mean, in talking about pro wrestling, in like pro wrestling, Pokemon, all these other different elements, and Kittle has that in his Kittle Things podcast that he does with his wife. But other than that, I mean, the next game here that we're going to talk about is the Bengals and Ravens. The Bengals defeated the Ravens 32-14, and Burrow's returned back. And Burrow looked much healthier than what I thought he was going to be, minus the discomfort and in the protection inside of his cleat that he had to wear.
My question to you is, were T. Higgins and Jamar Chase healthy for the Bengals Ravens?
T. Higgins was out with a concussion.
Okay, but Jamar was okay.
Jamar was there.
All right,
Jamar was in there because he was back from the suspension.
that's all I had to ask.
Yeah, because what it was that Jamar was suspended, so T. Higgins was the number one along with Andre Yoshivas. And then this time it was Jamar and Yoshivas as 1 and 2,
Okay.
while T was out with a concussion. But my other take on the Bengals is that it may look like it's too little too late for the Bengals, but crushing playoff aspirations for other teams sounds very much like a spicy aspiration for them. And the Bengals have done it before. And were thanked dearly by Bills Mafia because of it. But that's a digression aside for another day. And now next game we move on to is the Black Friday game, where the Bears stun the Eagles 24-15. And whatever was going on in Philadelphia over these last 6 days, it certainly needs to change as they head into a tough backstretch of the season if they want to repeat as NFC East champs. It no longer has become that simple. And that is because Dallas is surging. If the Philly is going to break the no repeat winner streak that the NFC East is coming along, they need to wake up.
I mean, you could say the same shit about the Chiefs too, the way they're going.
No, but I'm saying that how I had told you that the NFC East had not had a repeat winner in almost 2 decades.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, the Chiefs have been winning over and over and over again. No, this is so that we can have back-to-back winners in the NFC East.
Do you think the Chiefs
And
are
this
regressing like Charlie Sheen back in 2010s? Just winning, but not necessarily winning?
Is it a full-on regression in terms like a Charlie Sheen complete collapse?
No.
No, not exactly. Am I thinking that simply the breaks are no longer going their way because we're getting sick and tired of it? That could be entirely possible. The next game I'm going to address is the Panthers stunning the Rams 31-28. Some division races have just gotten real. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but the NFC South and the NFC West have gotten even more interesting due to the end results of this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like more of a sleeper pick as far as the wild card or just the division in general. Who knows?
Well, the Panthers have 2 games still with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and those 2 games alone could decide who wins the NFC South.
Yeah.
The NFC West is a slugfest right now. All
It feels
3 of the
kind of
top
weird seeing these like teams that
every
were.
team except the Arizona Cardinals has 9 wins in it, and are all a half game separated from each other.
What I was going to say was mainly I think it's kind of weird that like the teams that were regressing a lot a couple years ago are kind of building themselves back up a little bit, but it feels almost like an earthquake has happened and like the earth in general has just like kind of formed into a new thing, and I feel like that storyline is kind of with the NFL. I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like a new crust is forming for the NFL.
I was actually going to say I think it's a new type of tide. I was going to say it's more like the moon has shifted as far as the NFL in
Oh,
terms of a
so
phase to
if you had a
so the moon
werewolf.
No, I'm not talking like that. I'm talking like ocean tides.
Okay, I was thinking like for some reason like at one point you're a werewolf and the next thing you're a guy naked.
No, I am not
Covering
talking.
his
I'm
junk.
not talking humans going feral.
God, I forgot what cartoon that was, but there was it was probably a movie adaptation, but it was no, it was Despicable Me, because it was whenever Gru stole the moon was gone, so then the guy that was howling at the moon turned into a naked guy because he's no longer a werewolf. Lore explained by Ruckus.
Okay, the next game also heated up another division race. The Texans defeated the Colts 20-16, and this game showed where the tables are turning. AFC South now is getting real. This now is Houston on a hot streak, the Colts crashing back down to earth, and now the Jaguars have just came in like an RKO from out of nowhere and taken the division lead. And yelling Duval in the process.
I don't know how Lord Farquhar would say about that.
No, I think Shrek would just body slam him yelling Duval.
And then Donkey would be like, in the morning, I'm making waffles. Well, he magically insinuates a female dragon.
No, I was gonna say the donkey was gonna more so have the kick very much like the Texans are doing to the Colts.
Oh, like kind of like when Donkey roasts Shrek. He was like, what did he say? Like, man, your breath smells like onions because your breath stank or something like that.
Never mind. Never
That's
mind. I'm gonna go to the next game.
that's my favorite quote of all time is like a diss or like a roast. It's just Donkey saying that. Go ahead.
The next game is the Sunday Nighter. I'm not going to talk about Pittsburgh Buffalo. I'm not going to talk about a couple of these other ones. The next one I have is the Broncos defeating my Commanders 27-26 in overtime. And this was far and away pretty much one of, if not the best game of the weekend.
Far and away and not too
And
long, like Nickelback.
that was just so far away. That was just far away, not far and away.
So you know. Go ahead.
You just committed to a bit for a song that was 20 years old. Just
Okay.
realize that.
Yeah, I was probably 8 when that shit came out.
And as much as I don't like being on the losing end of games like this, very well that Nick Bonito may defensive play break the sack record and steal it away. Nick Bonito has had a great year for Denver. I mean, but Denver's had a great defense all year, pretty much. It's a team carried by Bo Nix is just finding just the right amount of stuff to win games.
And also, Jalen Daniels is far away for far too long. I love you. That's what the Commanders are saying to Jalen Daniels right now. Like, come back, baby, come back.
No, Jaden Daniels right now is you put your right knee in, you put your right knee out, you put your right knee in, and it goes and gets hurt. It's the injury hokey pokey, and you don't want to come out, but you need to sit down.
Marley turned his ass around.
That was not where I was going with that. It's like he wants to play, but right now the injury hokey pokey is kind of keeping him out.
All right. Are we
That's
doing?
where I was going with that.
Cool.
Yep. And then now we move on to our stud and dud of the week. And I have a little more because I have an honorable mention, but an honorable mention I think in both of our cases here was Browns defensive tackle Shelby Harris. Granted that this was not necessarily a very suitable for work rant with some of the language.
I loved
But-
it. You just like, ah, shit. What it? Didn't you
But
leak
it
it to
was
me
a-
at one point?
Oh,
no,
I showed you the clip. I showed you the clip that he said, but it was for him calling out Juwan Jennings based on the field actions he saw, and of course said that there's a reason. Like I can see why Trayvon Morey punched him in the nuts.
Okay, can I play the audio really quick for a couple seconds?
I'll let you roll.
All right, here we go.
And I want that known. Like, I see why he got punched in the nuts, because that's some, like, he says some things that you should not say to another man ever. But like, I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line. That's
I just think it's kind of just out of left field that he got punched in the nuts.
I think I think there was some egging on to Morig that Jennings had did.
Shout out to
I
NFL
mean-
on CBS, by the way, for the plug there. That's where I got the audio from, first my source. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh yeah. But my stud this week goes to Mavericks rookie Cooper Flagg for becoming the youngest player to score 35 points in a game. And he surpasses LeBron James by just a few days.
You mean LeBron James? LeBron James? It just gradually gets better.
Yes, the LeBron James.
LeBron James. I love the one where he's like kind of looks like he's like about to like just giggle after saying it. Kind of like
All right,
sadistically.
Ruckus, go ahead and bring your stud on.
What? Speaking of sadistic, Brutus, the Ohio State is he Brutus
Well,
the
yeah,
Buckeye?
It's Brutus Buckeye, the Ohio State mascot.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't butcher that like I did with everything else in this episode. Brutus doing what Brutus does best against rival Michigan, carving a Ohio into the end zone and also an X into the M in Michigan during it. Was it snowing? Right?
It must have been like, or at least some sort of sleet.
I just thought it was funny that he just kind of goes like nonchalant about it. That's my stud, which is Mr. Brutus. My honorable mention would have been Jason Kelsey with the musket thing during Monday Night Football, like as far as the pregame.
But I think it's just ESPN is coming up, and Jason must be coming up with really good production segments for these type of things.
Mama.
It's like as if Jason is just not missing.
Well, also he's like one of the higher paid guys in ESPN now compared to who
No,
they
but I'm
had
saying that
before.
for the personality to be able to make all of them, to make every single thing
Come on
that he
now,
has
he's
done
got
work.
personality. He is the cult of
No,
personality.
no, I'm saying that he's got the personality to make every single thing work. That's why I'm saying that it's Jason Kelsey that is the reason why it doesn't miss.
I mean, we should have had more of the late night with Jason Kelsey back early this year.
I would have
And
loved to have seen them bring that back, but
they need to.
I think that I still think they're finding ways to make his usage effective. He could be very well set up for an NFL honor for a personality of the year in the NFL.
Come on, though. Like, I think they should have a late night with Kelsey, not just for the fucking playoffs like they did last year, but I think they need to. I think they would make it more entertaining if they did it during the season too. Like, yeah, you have New Heights and whatnot, but like, it feels like they've been very dormant with their podcast because they've like had so many guests now to where like they kind of just pick and choose who they're gonna have and then just drop it randomly on YouTube instead of just like, oh, this week we're gonna do this, that week we're gonna do this. Like, they're not going on the kind of pace like we're going, where we're trying to do it every week.
It's a little different when they're when I'm gonna say, like, I think it's more so Jason's schedule, not Travis's, is a lot less regimented.
But even then, like, you had to jumble that, but also I think they're more prioritizing just their lifestyles rather than dealing with the podcast. Like, if we had the money, we could probably do the same thing. But at the same time, I feel like we're more dedicated because it's like our point of view versus someone that's like a multimillionaire that doesn't give a rat's ass about anything else.
I mean, the only reason why Travis it kind of matters is because he's still on the field.
All right. I mean, I think both of them still do matter, though. Like, Jason's a hilarious dude that makes content and whatever, whereas Travis is still on the field, like you were saying. But speaking of which, I think it's kind of douchey for Swifties to be like, oh, Travis Kelce was only relevant because Taylor Swift started dating him and everything else. It's like, did you not watch the NFL before that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's a freaking legend.
Yeah, I knew who Travis Kelce was before he ever was dating Taylor Swift.
I'm not gonna name names, but someone that I know dear in my heart, God bless their soul, told me that it was the Swifties, and I kept on telling them, that's not how it is, honey. You're a new Chiefs fan, and that's not how we roll. That's like saying let's say for a second Tony Gonzalez was in the same boat with a different lady. Would you say that Tony Gonzalez is only known because he was dating someone else? No. You would have said, hey, he's a Hall of Fame tight end that kicked ass and took names. And that's the same for Travis Kelce, kicking ass and taking names.
Tony Gonzalez, for me, is a nostalgia trip.
I would argue that the same would be with Travis Kelce, because think of it this way. Imagine 10 years from now, the Gen Z generation grows up and they're like, oh my God, Travis Kelce. And then another big tight end comes out and they're like, oh my God, this guy, he's like so amazing. And then someone comes out later and is like, oh, actually, it's just like, how do you convince a nostalgia trip like that to a dedicated fan?
Oh, no, I was saying for the
Like,
reason
it
why I was
doesn't make
saying
any
that for
fucking
Tony
sense.
Gonzalez, I think the reason why I was saying that for Tony Gonzalez is that Tony Gonzalez, as far as like him entering the NFL, I was a kid. Like I was legitimately a kid.
I remember him just dunking into the field goal post. That was before they banned that and annexed that like a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, and Tony Gonzalez. That's just the funny thing about it is that he was a didn't I don't think he played
He played basketball in high
no,
school, I believe.
he was a two-sport. Yeah, no, he was a two-sport athlete at Cal.
I remember that
He played
because I saw like a Sports Illustrated or something back in the day whenever I was at elementary school.
Yeah, he played 3 years at Cal for both football and basketball.
Yeah.
And Tony Gonzalez, he had some of the funny Sunday, like he was doing the funny Sunday night football intros a good amount of the time before anyone else was.
And now he just looks funny on camera. He always looks cross-eyed, even with glasses. I was just like, wait, is this like a gag for like a Halloween thing? Because when I saw him with glasses, I'm just like, my God, he just looks like he's cross-eyed. Like I feel bad for him, and at the same time, it's just like, is it me or is it happening?
Yeah, I mean, Tony Gonzalez was very much a chief when you were a kid. But I remember Tony Gonzalez actually first coming into the league as a rookie being a kid.
But and I also remember when the Chiefs played Bandit, hey, hey, like I think that was called. What was that called? It was
think
like
it's just called Hey. I think it's just called Hey.
I thought it was something B2. Like there was like a version 2 that someone remade for it. I don't know, but
yeah, might be, yeah. But I think digression aside, my dud this week goes to the Minnesota Vikings. Having the magic conch and saying, how much do we want to put on the scoreboard against the Seattle Seahawks? Nothing. Especially, like, and it was worse. It got worse. Especially because 3 minutes to go in the first half, they were down by 3 and they were inside the 5.
Can I do the honors?
And you have a good young kicker in Will Reichard, and you end up having the rookie quarterback out there who threw the first of his 4 interceptions being a pick 6. Hit it, Ruckus.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Yes, and I actually sent that to you in a Discord DM.
You're welcome, America.
That just told you exactly what I was thinking. And the biggest thing, I'm looking at Will Reichard's probably on the sideline going through and saying this one particular question mentioned in a Tribe Called Quest song, and KOC's looking at him saying, or Will Reichard's looking, can I kick it? And instead of yes, you can, every time it was no, you can't.
God damn it, I could have put a peanut joke in there.
What?
I could have put a peanut joke in there where it's like trying to kick the football and then fucking Sandy or whatever her name is. Just like
Lucy.
See, this tells you how much I pay attention to the Peanut saga, but it was enough to where it was Lucy that she was just like, whoop, psych. And Dark Simpson over there was probably writing like, I will not betray my team ever again. I will not betray my team ever again. I will not. And then leading on a skateboard to go home.
And by the way, that leads right into your dad.
Which is the Giants kicker. Whips on a kick. Who would have thought? Oh, wait, we just talked about it. And also, I saw it earlier today when I was looking at the Monday Night Football stuff, because I barely paid attention to Monday Night Football. I saw the score, and I was like, yep, I am done giving a shit about this game. And that was it.
Now, did you see or watch back any of the Peyton and Eli commentary from it?
I tried to watch it for a little bit, and then you were, because like I remember you were calling for the writing, and I was watching it for a little bit, and I was like, hey man, like let me listen to this, and then I just got bored, and then I'm just like, whatever, like let's just get this damn
No,
call
but
over with.
no, but at the time when all of this was going on, they've got Danny DeVito on.
Eli's
Yeah, but of course I
a sub
think they had
above.
mentioned something like, oh, it was like Eli hitting a fat one off of like during golf.
Also, the whole thing with Tyree Gibson at the beginning was kind of hilarious too.
Yeah, but here was what had happened is that Young Wei Koo, he went to step, and I think he ended up about a step too far. He must have taken his like plant step too deep. And when he went to swing his foot down to kick the football, he stubbed his toe. He stubbed his toe on the way down.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, he hit his. Yeah, his toe hit on the way down. Like how normally you would want to have the full lever like
How do
swing
you
to be able to
manage to
kick it and get
screw
on
that
top.
up? Like, how do you manage? Like, everyone's wondering why Butker was so bad for a while, and he has like this weird scenario. Maybe there's something to the formula there that Butker knows that we don't.
Um, as our generally one of our normal people we reference a lot, Pat McAfee says kicking ain't easy. Kicking ain't easy.
Well, he was a fucking punter. Who cares?
He plays kicked in college too. He was a kicker and a punter in college.
He was also
He
a soccer
eventually
player for
found
a little
his.
bit too, I think.
Yeah, he specialized as a punter in the National Football League.
Didn't he play soccer
How
later
he
on
has the
after his
college game,
football?
but it's the college game day segment of kicking ain't easy.
Yeah, but like I was asking you a genuine question about, did he play soccer after his NFL career, or was he also a soccer player during college or high school?
Let's see.
Because I feel like it was after, because he does more advertising for that during his
Well,
show.
because he's only 38. He attended Plum High School. He played varsity soccer, volleyball, and football, and was a national punt pass kick champion as a sophomore in high school.
Interesting. That's why I was curious about that, but we are
Yeah, so
free
he
to
had.
move on if we need to.
Yep. All right. Well, now we move on to the Eastwood segment.
My favorite
the good,
segment.
the bad, and the ugly.
All right, I'm rolling it. All right, Spennis, go rapid fire in a sense of just the amount of roasting you want to do on this good this week.
The good this week. Anthony Rendon. Mr.
Who?
Tony Two Bags.
What?
Mr. Tony Two Bags.
Who?
I loved what you did. I love what you did for the great city of Washington, D.C.
Huh?
when you led them to a World Series. But now the good this week is that you've been bought out by your contract by the Los Angeles Angels. You got more than 2 bags for doing absolutely jack squat.
Why did you
Nothing
go
at
to
all.
like a Jersey accent like that? I love it, but I feel like at this point you're gonna get whacked because your impersonation wasn't that great. You're gonna be swimming with the fishes, Spennis. But I do applaud you for how you were saying it, talking about Anthony Rendon.
But going with the Tony Two Bags, talking with like the soprano with the Brooklyn accent. I know it wasn't all that great.
This morning, got yourself. You just imagine Anthony Rendon smoking a cigar, which I think he was even during the celebration. Now that I remember it, he was like in a tank top, like a wife beater almost.
I know it wasn't necessarily the best type of thing, but it kind of had it. it fit the vibe I was trying to go for.
You gotta take it easy.
It was basically Tony Two Bags being a fugazi there
Uncle
in
T.
Cali.
Hey T.
A fugazi.
I got Bagul. God damn it, I need to watch The Sopranos again at some point.
Okay. And the not so good this week.
Herbert
And
Sherbert.
this could be bad news for Ruckus. Especially if Justin Herbert can go through this and manage to play on. He injured his hand in the game against the Raiders. He goes in for surgery. It's uncertain about his return in week 14, but Herbert's treating it like as if he can play on.
What if I told you that Herbert has had the same damn problem for probably like 3 or 4 years now, and it's just like near the end of the year, it's like, oh, his fucking hand just magically can't do what his hand did at the beginning of the season. It's like, well, shit, like, no dip, like, what was the scouting report when he was in college? Like, did he have a screwed up hand then? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I think the bigger issue has been that he has an offensive line like a lawn chair that constantly keeps getting folded.
Probably because it was done by Squidward.
I don't know where you were going with that, but
It's like, have you seen that meme where it's like Squidward trying to enjoy a nice day like on his lawn, and then he sees SpongeBob and Patrick, and then he like unfolds a chair and then leaves because he's just done with their bullshit.
Oh my gosh.
That's just me with Justin Herbert with his hand thing. It's like, really? We had to hear about this every fucking year about your stupid hand? Anyways, what's the downside?
And I think the bright side is that it's his non-throwing hand. So.
Oh, God forbid. I don't want to hear it.
But the downright ugly this week.
Speaking of things people don't really want to hear.
We had to do it. Was Lane Kiffin officially making his announcement to leave Ole Miss for LSU? 2 days after the Egg Bowl, stabbing Oxford in the back and rendering himself unable to finish the job he started for the Ole Miss Rebels.
And the amount of boos from the fans from Ole Miss came about during his plane flight. They followed him to his private plane, and they all started booing the shit out of him. Because it's just like, well, what else can you do? Say thank you for being our amazing coach at Ole Miss and abandoning us?
Oh, no.
That's just crummy.
This is such a scumbag. It's a scumbag type of move, but it is set up by a very flawed coaching carousel system in college football. Yes, I believe 2025 has exposed those flaws. I am going to talk a little bit more about that during a later segment.
Correct.
Where I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break this down a lot further at that point.
I thought
the ugly is the situation at hand.
He definitely looks a lot better. I don't know if it was Ozempic or just him losing a lot of weight, but he definitely has a slimmer look to him compared to back in the day.
But this still does not justify my opinions on the coaching carousel process in college football. But we'll get to that here in a moment. But first, we will go into our lights, camera, action segment. As a little bit of a segue transition before we can get right into it with the color commentary. Little sidebar here as we get to discuss what we've been watching and playing. And Ruckus, I think we both have something really on each end, right?
Yep. I actually heard about yours here in a little bit, but so I decided to start getting back into Stranger Things, and I watched the new season because, like, I watched season 4, but it was a slow burner. Whereas I'm not gonna spoil season 5 just yet, or really during this episode at all, because I want to give people enough time, and I feel like that's why the Duffer Brothers had spread it out. But for people that have already watched it, there's a lot of reviewers that say that it's weird that like the town is still just thriving like normal, like no big deal, even though like they're locked down by a base. But like, I think the way they implemented things has definitely been a lot more different than what the normal logical world would be like. Because I was rewatching season 3, and that's when 11 and the gang, that's when you meet Matt. That's when you meet Max for the first time, and like a few other new characters that they introduce. And I feel like that was iconic because that was the 4th of July of 2019 when I went and watched that live when that came out. And that was nostalgic to me, at least. Like, just seeing the mall atmosphere and just how the actors interact. But yeah, season 5, it feels more like they're just going back to the same old thing, but they're trying to develop a thing in a way where it's like they're trying to get the other characters to get more screen time. Like Will gets a lot more screen time this season, and like some new people get in there too. Like the dipshit delightful Derek thing is hilarious to me. It's just like this kid that's probably middle school age, or maybe even like later elementary school age, like 5th or 6th grade, that just has a foul mouth and goes straight up to like the army, and it's just like, you guys suck, and then they just like gut check them. Like, I don't know, but I think the way they ended the first part of it was with the bang, and a lot of people were wondering. There was a theory that apparently some characters related to another, but I think that's a bunch of BS. It's just a bunch of filler so that people can make money off of it in different ways without infringing on the copyright. But I think it's been good so far. I can't wait for Christmas Eve. They should have made it to where the whole season was on there, and then the finale was New Year's Eve. I think that would have been probably more. That probably would have made more sense. But I do like that they added a um point of like, hey, we care about this franchise, so we're going to release it in a way where it's like, okay, um, because there's a episode in season 3 where Mike and 11 were talking about when they would meet each other again, because they made up or whatever from their breakup, and Michael's like, yeah, I'll make it to Thanksgiving, and then she was like, oh, I'll make it to Christmas or whatever, and guess what so happened to happen with the first part of season 5? Thanksgiving, and then part 2 is gonna be Christmas, and then the finale will be on New Year's Eve. Like, it just kind of feels meant to be, but at the same time, I'm not sure if they meant to do it like that. Anyways, Spence, I'm done rambling.
All right, my watching. And this is per been a tradition since my wife and I got married. And on Black Friday, we will go out and we will watch a movie. We'll go out and we'll watch a movie on Black Friday.
Is it cheaper? Or is it just kind of like one of those things where you just do it anyways?
Just kind of one of those things where we just kind of did it.
Okay.
Really 2 years ago we were in Greensboro and just kind of really didn't have anything better to do on that Friday, so we're like, oh, why don't we just go and watch a movie? And we ended up watching The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. the next year, I just kind of made that. We kind of made that an intentional thing, and we saw the first part of Wicked, but we didn't want to finish that out. So we saw that Zootopia 2 was coming out.
My nieces were talking all about that Thanksgiving Eve on Thanksgiving, and there was a snake that showed up on the Maker World that I'm thinking about printing, but I haven't decided if I'm gonna do it yet.
No, but if you actually go out and watch this movie, it really does hold up. It is really good. Like, it's really good. And they got really good voice actors for it. I mean, Bateman's still good. Jennifer.
You mean Batman?
It's Jason Bateman.
You mean Batman?
My
I'm giving you shit. Keep going.
I know it's the State Farm. I know it's the State Farm commercial. I get it. But they brought in Andy Samberg. They reprised with Shakira and Idris Elba, and they built upon the first one really well.
I actually bought the first one on Blu-ray at Target because they had the Black Friday stuff, and so I got as many movies as I could on that deal, and then a couple with Walmart because they were a little bit cheaper.
Oh, and the first one was really good too, with the with the DMV and the sloth.
I vividly remember Zootopia. Like, I like the sloth scene, but I vividly remember Zootopia for some reason. I think I was just extremely tired one night in high school, like during senior year, and was just watching it just for the shits and giggles. Like, I didn't really care that much, but I was just glad to have it.
It is worth it. Like, that one was one that was worth it to go see with Zootopia 2. But my playing library this past week has been really an interesting top-notch type of thing. I've been still messing around with Hades 2. I am hooked. Like, this game is really good. Like, it's really good. It's a dungeon crawling roguelite, but man, I am at the point now where every single run that I can do now feels like I can progress even further. And I'm working both sides now to try and get more upgrades to build up and get even stronger. I then caved and bought the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection for the PC. Worth that. That one was fun. I finally got through Shao Kahn and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 arcade cabinet on it for the first time, and found that I can get a little better. They show the specials that you can do, and you can set that up and do that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have been playing Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Which did you hear of TMNT Shredder's Revenge?
Is that a mobile game too, or
no? That one was it was Xbox. It was on Game Pass.
I must have forgot about that because I didn't really use my Game Pass. That's why I quit using it.
Yeah, but it was like it was stylized like an old 90s arcade beat 'em up. And they've now done that with Marvel characters in building one very much like the Cosmic Invasion, done in a tag style where you pick two characters and it's interesting. I really enjoyed the brief amount of time I spent on that. And then I have Metroid Prime 4 later this week, so that'll get talked about a little bit on the next episode. Of kind of like my first look at Metroid Prime 4.
For me, I forgot to add this to the podcast writing, but for me, I started playing Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. It's a remaster of the original Plants vs. Zombies.
The first one, yeah.
I decided to play it because I was like, okay, I wanted to like try it and see how it was. It's not bad on PC. there's a weird glitch whenever you start the game up for the first few times where it like forgets to boot up properly. But other than that, game's solid. But I'm trying to relive the nostalgia of that from whenever I played it on my iPod Touch back in the day. All right,
Yeah.
let's keep going.
All right. And now that we kind of have that aside, we now move on to the color commentary where we go into toss up. And yeah, this is very much built similar to the Pardon the Interruption program where they take two different sides of it, where they have two different sides and you kind of get to pick. So the first one here is toss up. Worst way to leave a college program: by scandal via Jim Harbaugh, or by up and leaving in the heat of the college football playoff race like Lane Kiffin.
Part of me was, whenever we were talking about this, I thought maybe like the Harbaugh thing was worse than Kiffin, but I don't know. If you're a coach that is kicking ass and taking names with the college, you would think that you would want to finish it out. Even though LSU wouldn't let him finish it out, he got greedy with the money. Whereas Harbaugh, it was okay. I'm a proven head coach in college that is kicking ass and taking names, and I've been doing that for multiple seasons. And then going back to the pros, like I think part of me feels like Harbaugh's is worse because of the sign stealing crap, but part of it, I don't know. It's like a yin and yang effect almost because Harbaugh did it, and then all of a sudden there was that scandal. Whereas Kiffin is just like, "Oh, my team is doing well. Well, screw you guys. I'm going to LSU." It's like, like I don't know. I think Kiffin is worse because you don't know what could happen in LSU right now because of the fact that they fired their coach like a couple weeks ago, and they tried to get the taxpayers to pay up instead of them specifically.
Oh, yeah. The LSU situation was ugly as a whole. Finding out that they fired Brian Kelly without cause, and then now they're going and getting Lane Kiffin. But the process of the coaching carousel but while Harbaugh's was bad enough that it led him to say, "Hey, I got to cut bait and get away," I think Kiffin's is worse in the sense of that he up and left after a heated rivalry victory with Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl. Your team is right there in the college football playoff race. And honestly, if a coach is still in the heat of the season and likely going to get selected for the college football playoff, he should be off limits until their season is truly done. This is exactly what happened. Lane Kiffin should have never been on the table for LSU until, yes, he may get more time to recruit now that he is no longer committed to Ole Miss. But at the same time, he should have been considered untouchable.
True. That's where I'm just kind of like, well, he should have been like, "Hey, LSU, go fuck yourselves. I'm going to finish this out, whether you like it or not."
No, I think what should have been done is that the interviews with Kiffin should have never have taken place while he was still the coach of Ole Miss.
Do they have regulations like they do with that with the NFL?
No.
They
They
need
must
to-
not, because
Maybe they need to add two
They
regulations.
must not because they must not because they have I mean, James Franklin gets fired from Penn State and Virginia Tech hires him like 2/3 of the
Or
way through the season. And the interim head coach of Virginia Tech is coaching a game while James Franklin is watching.
what if
that
I
said game.
said there's 3 double whammies or 3 issues with that? So, number 1, it's Lane Kiffin being changing schools like in the middle of a good run. But also like there's the thing of, okay, well, how are they gonna buy out the contract without screwing over the community of Louisiana State University? But also, how can they easily get away with this? Oh yeah, an NIL deal. We gotta regulate the NIL deals. We gotta regulate how the colleges are trying to fund their way out of buying out a coach that sucked 1 year and maybe could have been better the next year, or outright just sucked in general. You decide you wanted to pay him this amount of money to get him the fuck over there. Why don't you commit to that instead of just being like, "Oh, well, shit, he was just terrible this year. I don't know what to tell you, and our whole fan base is just mad at him." It's like, how about you just man the fuck up? That's my last 2 cents.
All right. The next one here. Which song title better reflects what the Pittsburgh Steelers need to do with Mike Tomlin? We Belong Together or Separate Ways?
I mean, someday love will find you, and you will virtue and go on your separate ways, as Kiss once said. I think they
Separate Ways was done by Journey.
I remember a movie where it was, I think it was Why Him, and they played Kiss, and the Kiss guy literally was on the guitar at the end. Sorry to spoil that, but that's how I remember Separate Ways. But
Yeah, Separate Ways was a Journey song.
I could have sworn maybe Kiss also had a cover for it. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. But I think they're gonna go separate ways anyways, because how do you? The only way you make it worse than Steeler Nation is if you make what's his face, Artie Smith or Arthur Smith the head coach. He was already bad with the Falcons. Do you expect him to be better with the Steelers, if that's the case?
I am going to say that for the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, although Separate Ways probably is what the fan base thinks,
They've been thinking that shit since Canada was an offensive coordinator. They were wondering, hey, like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. But I mean, this has been something for years. But most of the time it had been blame Canada. Blame Canada. But I think that honestly, the Steelers and Mike Tomlin probably still do belong together. And that is more so because Mike Tomlin still has not had a losing season. There hasn't really been a solid reason other than that they just can't get over the hump. But the Rooneys are very patient with head coaches, and turnover of head coaches does not happen very often without reason.
Also, the same thing could be said about their quarterback, which was Ben Roethlisberger for the longest time, when they could have retired, or he could have retired or played for another team and got more money somewhere else, or been a backup, kind of like Joe Flacco, but he decided to stay with Pittsburgh. And it was sometimes people were wondering if it was too long because he was getting interceptions left and right for the most part. We'll just see what happens with Tomlin.
They still do right. They still try to do right by those that have done them right. And I think that is what still will come about, much to the fan base of Pittsburgh's chagrin. Toss up collapsing team with more concern, the Colts or the Eagles?
I think the Eagles have more worry, but at the same time, I feel like the Colts, they were so good at the beginning of the season with Danny Dimes turning into Indiana Jones. And yes, I am giving him gratitude because he fought a good fight against a Chiefs team that was losing their identity, like SpongeBob at a coffee shop, or more like a Waffle House, sitting there with a coffee, wondering what his identity was. But I mean, if the Colts collapse, that's one thing, but the Eagles, I think, is more worrisome because they've had issues in the past with this. Like, I remember the Cowboys beat them like a few years ago whenever I was on a business trip, and I was worried about the Eagles, and then they lost to the Buccaneers in the divisional, or was it the wild card round? I believe it was the wild card round. Right?
I'm not sure which. I'm not too sure which year you're speaking on here.
Either way, they collapsed, and they're not spilling these raps for sure. But I think if they can get their shit together and get everybody going, sure. But we'll see what happens. But I think it's more concern on the Eagles.
I think the AFC South at this point is one of those divisions that basically is saying, "Welcome to the salty spittoon. How tough are ya?" And the Colts right now just seem to be that team right now that is going into Weenie Hut Juniors.
Especially Mrs. Ursay that is on the sideline. She's a Weenie Hut Junior now because it just seems like at the first part of it, they're like, "Oh, we're promoting women and how amazing they are," and it's like, well, like, how much is she really bringing to the sideline? And also, I can't stand her. Like, mainly just her look. She looks like Lord Farquaad from Shrek, but other than that, I've said my 2 cents already about Mrs. Ursay. She can do whatever the fuck she wants at the end of the day, but I just feel like the Colts gambled and lost with Jones.
I think that the Colts have had unfortunate happen to kind of prevent them from getting any further. Because I think Houston has now. The Colts have woken up a sleeping giant in Houston. And then the Jaguars just, again, just lurking in the shadows, like staying low key. Liam Cohen not saying the county right.
Do you think that the NFL is run off a lawnmower motor at this point?
I think the NFL is trying to run off of a scale of parity and balance. And in certain divisions, it's evening out well. In
And
other
in
divisions,
some,
it's kind of not doing that.
so it's almost like
Which then
Goodell getting on
ultimately,
a scale.
like
And I was,
Goodell's probably on one side, then you've got Jamarcus Russell on the other.
and there's like, it almost sounds
And
like
it's
a
like,
aruga.
no, it just becomes like this volatile seesaw that the weight just doesn't quite distribute correctly to actually have the seesaw be completely level.
And
It's
that's
just
our
going
title
like,
of the episode.
no, I think there's another title somewhere along the way. But
Oh, come on.
what calling the NFL a seesaw?
Yes, sir.
AFC North game related with more intrigue. Bengals versus Bills or Steelers versus Ravens?
I think more so Bengals and Bills because the Bills still have more to prove on their front versus the Bengals, and the Bengals also have something to prove because you could say that the Bengals Ravens game was more of a catch up game for Burrow since he had missed so much time and has brought the Bengals offense back a little bit. So we'll see how the Bengals do against the Bills. Historically, the Bengals have kicked the Bills' ass, so we'll see. But Steelers and Ravens, I feel like they kick their own asses, and then the Ravens just kind of pick at the corpses a little bit.
Here's where I'm going with this. I'm gonna say Cincinnati Buffalo, but if Cincinnati gets by Buffalo and they continue the run and get through Baltimore at M&T, the Bengals are running the table, and the Bengals could potentially steal the AFC North away from both Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Yes, this is completely a very spicy hot take. Like it might hit like mango habanero level at B-dubs. It not quite blazing, but it's at least a mango habanero. But the Bengals, I think, with how they're improving now that Joe Burrow's in, as long as they can keep Burrow healthy and protected, and they're going like this on all cylinders. Oh, the Bengals could like steal this division away.
Yeah, perhaps, I guess.
No, they. I think that I think that the AFC North, in terms of the Bengals, while Joe Burrow was injured, I think they let Cincinnati hang around for too long. They let him hang around. I mean, Cincinnati's defense has to step up as well, but
Yep.
that offense can still score quickly enough to trade points, and Cincinnati gets hot at the right time, which is right now with urgency.
All right, we
Ooh,
need
you
to.
know how long I've been waiting for this? Ooh, I think Burrow gonna make a name for himself here.
Are you gonna start making a sausage boil with some crawfish and dude, I've been seeing so many posts on Facebook from this like southern guy cooking boils. He was like, "Oh, we got some crawfish over here," and then there's like the one guy that is like playing the part where he's got like the mullet going. He's like, "Mark." He's like going in like the southern twang, but I feel like he's doing too much just to get views.
Oh, I was impersonating Channing Tatum's Gambit.
Oh, well, there you go.
You didn't realize where I was going with that?
It almost sounds like Farmer Fran from Waterboy. You know,
Well, it was Channing Tatum's like Cajun accent that he was going for. All right. And we now will move on to the film room. And the lead continues to extend for me as I am now up by 18.
Read them and weep.
89 to 71. But a good amount of points are on the table this week. And it's championship week in college football. And our first one goes in a green on green showdown. The North Texas Mean Green versus the Tulane Green Wave in the American Conference Championship.
I'm going North Texas. Going North Texas.
I am going with the Mean Green as well. The next one, the Big 12 title game. BYU, Texas Tech.
I feel like it's a cardinal sin at this point as a Chiefs fan to not go to Texas Tech, so I'm going Texas Tech.
I'm taking the Red Raiders as well. For 3 points, we got Georgia and Alabama.
I think it's
SEC title game.
I think it's sus if you pick Alabama. Yeah. I'm going Georgia.
I am actually going to say this. Though I normally would say, because I am a Bulldog, Bulldog high school wise, go dogs, go dogs, go dogs. Oh, sick 'em.
How about they're just straight up
Alabama here. Give me Alabama here. I'm taking the Tide. I have a
boo,
lead.
eat shit,
I have a lead.
boo, boo.
I have a lead. Give me Alabama.
I'm gonna go with the absolute dogs. All right, Indiana versus Ohio State. Who you got?
Ohio State. This is 5 points. It's the Big Ten title, and it's also number 1 versus number 2, as Ohio State is number 1 and Indiana is number 2. And I am going OHIO with the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I'm going Bucks as well because I feel like that's the easy pick. Because Indiana could be an upset, but who knows?
And the last game, the ACC title game, Duke versus UVA, University of Virginia.
I'm going Duke because I support Noah Gray. Or my Duke Blue Devil.
Wahoo, Uni-V, Virginia. I am taking the University of Virginia in this one. They are ranked. They are going to be ACC champions, and it'll be very interesting because I think they will probably take a very low seed in the college football playoff. And I think that over time, Virginia has kind of earned it. Especially with going through all the hard times a few years back, just to bounce back and get to this point. It's a team potentially of destiny.
Yeah.
And as far as some of the future stuff here, I am in my heart of hearts hoping Hottie Toddy wins it all and sticks it to Lane Kiffin.
Good for them.
But in the NFL, Cowboys and Lions on Amazon Prime, this game is with urgency, as this could be a win or go home game playoff wise for either team.
I'm going Lions.
The Lions are a team that is physical, that has some physical falling apart because it relies heavily on Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. on Sonic and the Sun God.
Not
And
Sonic
Gibbs
and
and
Knuckles
St. Brown.
anymore?
Oh, Knuckles is still there. But, I mean, granted that Sonic has been the feature back, and the Sun God is the number 1 wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I was going at there. But I'm going to take the Lions in this one because the Cowboys are a walking accident waiting to happen. And just you wait. There will come a time where the Cowboys will show that they are an accident waiting to happen. And I think it's going to be here. Colts, Jaguars.
I'm going Jags because I feel like the Jaguars are going to show their true stripes and the Colts will not. And Jim Irsay's daughter is just going to look more super and super by day's end.
Okay, Ruckus. Say it here with me here. Duval.
Whoa!
I am taking the...
Whoa!
Yep. I am taking the Jaguars here.
I'm sorry, one more time. Duval! You're welcome. Just want to make sure the mic caught it.
Yep. I am taking the Jaguars here. Steelers, Ravens. This is for current possession of the AFC North lead.
Honestly, I think the Steelers are going to beat the Ravens, but at the same time, who the F knows? because I don't know. I think the Steelers have a better thing of it with against the Ravens. We'll see.
Okay. Heads up. This game is at M&T Bank Stadium.
Oh,
Of
Steelers are
course,
gonna win.
both quarterbacks are banged up.
Steelers are gonna
But
win.
I think I'm gonna take the Ravens because I think I'm gonna take the Ravens because I think Pittsburgh will figure out some way to lose it, and Aaron Rodgers is not the same. The receivers are not buying in. And that plays right into the Ravens' hands. Dub Bears versus Dub Hack. And it's at Lambeau.
I'm going to pick the Packers because I feel like the Bears historically have lost to the Packers at Lambeau. So, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a legendary battle of the wits because both quarterbacks have shown right now that they have what it takes, and maybe it goes the Packers' way because they're at home. We'll see.
I think the Bears have not had a great track record against Green Bay at home. But Ben Johnson sure has. I'm taking the Bears.
I thought about
Bears.
I thought about having those as my stud, but then I was like, well, no, that's more of a Spennis thing.
Oh, what with the shirtless Ben Johnson for the free Chicago hot dogs?
Kind of like the Kirk Cousins thing where he had like the chains and he was shirtless.
The Kirk Ben Johnson. No, you could have done that. You could have done that. I think that's still just as much your lane with ridiculous things.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought it was funny, but I forgot about that entirely. Anyways.
And the Sunday Nighter, Texans and Chiefs.
Even though I feel like the Chiefs are going to lose because of just the amount of bullshit I've had to deal with the Chiefs right now. Even then, I'm going Chiefs because I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. I have a tattoo that is an arrowhead with my KCMO. We're going Chiefs.
I'm writing the hot hands right now in this regard. And right now, the Texans are hot.
Ooh, your tonsils are going to be feeling it, my guy.
I'm riding the hot hand.
Those tonsils, though. Those tonsils.
Defense of Houston, and the defense of Houston is healthy.
That's what I'm afraid of, honestly.
I'm going with the Houston Texans.
Dude, I am pissing myself whenever I hear Texans defense because Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter taking the helm. I'm just like, well, crap. Like, we'll see how the offense.
You got Azeez Al-Shaair at linebacker. I think Stingley's back.
I'm shaking in my toes because I know our O-line is beat up. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we go more run or if we do more improvising or whatnot. But I feel like this is the last dance for the Chiefs right now, as far as just getting consistently in the playoffs, but at the same time, like, riding the fine thread that they've had for like 2 weeks now. And it's pissing me off because I'm just like, I want to see them.
I'm ready to see the Chiefs out. This is the right year to do it. This is the right year to do it. It's primed and ready to go. I'm taking the Texans here. Just simply, let's rip the Band-Aid off.
More like address the elephant in the room.
And then the Monday Nighter, the Eagles and the Chargers. Who you got?
I think the Eagles, mainly because they have Jalen Hurts, they got the talent. It's just more so how do you interact with the Chargers as far as the defensive prowess, because the Chargers can really beat you on shotgun plays and get you the short yardage, and quickly go down the field and take advantage. Whereas the Eagles, they're just all over the damn place. But at the same time, that's not a bad thing.
I think it's more so just a matter of how healthy is Justin Herbert? Is he going to go? Is he not going to go? I think that this situation is completely in flux. But in the Eagles locker room, it's when will the alarm clock go off?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen right here.
They didn't even need a damn lawnmower motor to do that. They're just like,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm taking the Eagles here.
I'm taking the Eagles as well.
All right, and as we round third and headed for home, is there any current division race in the NFL that has the most intrigue for you?
Honestly, I'm just gonna see how it goes. I'm not trying to predict anything. I'm not trying to say anything, but what I will say, in my opinion, if the Chiefs somehow pull a fucking Houdini and manage to win all the rest of their regular season games and win it out and get to the Super Bowl, that would probably be fairly legendary and some type of ESPN 30 for 30 type bullshit series that they'll put up there as like, oh my god, they were so mediocre this season. What happened? And then all of a sudden, bam, they just get there. But part of me is not trying to go too far because I don't want to cry myself to sleep every night knowing that the Chiefs are not in the playoffs. Spanish, take it over,
West.
please.
The NFC West is a slugfest. All three teams are half a game behind, or are within half a game. Every one of the teams at the top have 9 wins apiece. This is going to be a matter of the backstretch of the season and who beats up on who most and survives. This is the good old JR slobber knocker of a division race. Another one that does this for me is the NFC North. And the AFC North has a little bit of intrigue, and the AFC South. I mean, the intrigue level I'm going to have on the AFC East is about a 3. The AFC North is about a 7. The AFC South about a 8. The AFC West about a 6. The NFC East, Commanders are out of it. It's about a 4. The NFC North about a 8. The NFC South, with the 2 matchups between Tampa Bay and Carolina, that's about a 7. But the NFC West is 10 out of 10 next level. That is a next level matchup because all these teams still got to beat the snot out of each other at least one more time.
Yeah.
Because San Francisco still has Seattle. And that's all they have left. All they have left is Seattle. But their schedule softens up with a little bit with the Titans after their bye, then the Colts, then the Bears, then the Seahawks.
Agreed.
Seattle still has to get by Atlanta, Indianapolis, the Rams, Carolina, and San Francisco. And then the Rams, who just lost to Carolina, still have Arizona, Detroit, Seattle, and still 2 with Arizona for the Cardinals to play spoiler, along with Detroit and Seattle. So that whole division is going to be a matter of, this one is a 100-meter dash sprint.
No
shit. And whoever comes out in front, it is going to be very, very close. And on that note, it it will do it for episode number 165 of the Ruckus and the Menace podcast. I'm Menace the Menace.
And I am Ruckus, always causing a ruckus.
And keep a tune onto the YouTube channel for This One's for Sam on Fridays and Viva Las Raiders on Thursdays.
Yes, sir.
And all other content that we have coming along. Until the next one, hugs and hand pounds, everybody.
Deuces.